Um, good fight, but first of all, it's Shane Mosley Jr. versus Jesus Ramos on the undercard. It's the actual first fight of the pay-per-view portion of Isaac Cruz versus Lamont Roach here December 6th, 2025. They're in San Antonio, $74.95 on pay-per-view. And they fought for the WBC interim title at 160 pounds. The WBC is in some hot water, by the way. And why is the WBC having an interim title? They look, goddamn box rec. Boxing scene, the rankings, they made me turn off my ad blocker. But really good competitive fight. Now, Jesus Ramos couldn't get any fights of significance at 154 pounds, so he moved up to 160 pounds to take on Shane Mosley Jr. I don't know if he's going to be staying up at the weight to compete there, but basically the 160-pound division is pretty weak. And with Janabek Alimkhanuly, who was supposed to fight Landy Lara tonight, failing drug tests earlier this week, he holds the WBA and the WBO. The division right now is kind of stagnant. So let me see here. What's going on with this? I hate when they make you turn your ad blocker off, and then they clog up the screen with some bullshit. And now I'm refreshing. There it is. So let's go down to heavy. 160 pounds. As you can see, Alimkhanuly has I'm tripping. He was supposed to fight Landy Lara for the WBA belt. By the way, there's the punch stats. Shane Mosley Jr. put on a better fight than a lot of people, I guess, thought he was going to put on. But remember, he is the bigger fighter. And if I'm correct, didn't Shane Mosley Jr. compete at 168 pounds at one point in time? It feels like it. And I'm talking about compete and not just up there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I knew it because he fought Gabe Rosado up there. Remember, he beat Daniel Jacobs when Daniel Jacobs just tried to return out of nowhere. So Jesus Ramos should get the win. I want to hear what the cards are going to be because I think the fight was a lot closer, especially the earlier rounds with Shane Mosley Jr. Used his bigger man, he was attempting to walk Jesus Ramos down. But by the way, Jesus Ramos is only 24 years old. I keep forgetting that. Even though I don't really view him as being what I would call like a special fighter, I do feel he's a good fighter. But sometimes you really don't know which guy's going to show up. Sometimes he'll look phenomenal. Other times he'll look, I don't want to say average or pedestrian, but I haven't really saw him or what I see.
Judge at ringside, Jesse Reyes scores about 116 to 112. Judges
I got that for Ramos.
Palmer both scored about 117 to 111. All three in favor of the winner. He is now the interim WBC.
I wonder if Ramos gonna get robbed again.
Title holder, Jesus El Mono.
The right man won. So the question is, now that the division is all over the place, for example, Landy Lara is going to be fighting, forgot what was this guy's name, Johan Gonzalez. He is the guy who retired Jared Swift Hurd, if I'm correct, right? Yes, he did. Yoenis Tellez, he lost to him by knockout, retired Hurd. And let's see here. I was asking, what is Carlos Adames doing? Is he linked to anybody? Now, remember, I'm trying to get back in the mix of following the sport. So he's not fighting anybody. So then why do we have an interim title? You see what I'm saying? I'm guessing they're not going to revisit the Hamza Shiraz fight that happened. That's almost a year ago. So I wonder what the interim title is for. Makes no sense, but that's the WBC for you and these sanctioning bodies. And they wonder why people are starting to lose respect for him. So, you got Jesus Ramos, Carlos Adames. That would be a good fight. Landy, I really wanted that Alimkhanuly Landy Lara fight. That was the best fight of the card to me, or the most intriguing of the card. And now, as you can see, the division, you got Austin Ammo Williams. Not too high on him. Mick Zarafa is going to be taking on Nikita Tszyu. That's going to be at 154 pounds. Chris Eubank Jr. lost to Conor Benn. I mean, Vincenzo Guerrieri. I mean, it's just ill, just ill. So it is a division, you know, for the taking, I guess, for a guy like Jesus Ramos. But then how would you view him against a guy like Erislandy Lara? So there's not really much to really talk about here unless he moves back down to 154. But 154 is pretty top heavy and all the belts are taken up and mandatories are pretty much taken up too. By the way, here's the rest of the card. Lara versus Johan Gonzalez is coming up next. And then Stephen Fulton versus Rocky Foster and Isaac Cruz, Lamont Roach. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360. And we are going to be back with the next fight.